Good morning, Jeremy Marquez here, J Marqeting. I call, you close more real estate listings. We're all logged into the Mojo dialer and we're going to start doing some prospecting via calling on expired listings in the Long Island, New York area. Give me one moment while I make sure everything's set up. Feel free to put comments, questions, thoughts, or ideas in the comments box and I'll get to it as I can. Just want to make sure everything's set up here with the sharing. Get as many people in here to watch me prospecting as possible. Give me one moment. Feel free to put comments, questions, thoughts, or ideas in the All right, we're live on YouTube as well. Go ahead and start a watch party. It's currently 8 a.m. here on the West Coast, 11 a.m. out on the East Coast where we'll be dialing. Once again, we're going to be calling expired listings, brand new stuff, older stuff, all mixed up. Brand new stuff. Go ahead and invite a few people in here and we'll get started. What's up, Ozzy? Share it in my group, Real Estate Cold Call Kings. If you guys are watching, it'd mean the world to me if you could like and share this stream as well. Share the watch party. And go ahead and get started. Like I said, we're already logged into Mojo. Let's get rocking and rolling. Maybe a few technical difficulties here or there, but we'll get it rocking. So the Mojo has the 3-line dialer. I have 100 expired listings loaded into the dialer, and currently it's dialing 3. And when somebody answers, we'll hear a notification.
You've reached Mike. Can't take your call right now. Give me a call back or leave a message.
At the top.
Drop an auto voicemail on him. Good morning. This is Jeremy calling from Jeff Barcher's office at Exit Realty.
Right.
I was calling to speak with Florence or Lawrence.
I'm not interested right now. I'm going to hold off putting it on the market. So is that what you're calling about?
Well, we saw you were listed for a while, and we were wondering why on earth you thought it didn't get sold.
I just don't know. I don't know why, but I'm not ready to do it again for a while.
Well,
if you'd like to send me some information about your, real estate company.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to jump right in anything right away. I work for
No.
Jeff Archer. That's my boss, and he's part of Exit Realty. And we saw that, you know, it was on the market for a little while, and we were just really surprised that you guys didn't get that property sold. Did you get any feedback from your agent?
I'm surprised too. I don't know why. Maybe because it's Mastic Beach, which doesn't have the best schools, you know, that sort of thing. I don't know. But it's a beautiful summer home, you know.
Did
Do you specialize in waterfront property?
Yeah, Jeff does actually. And we were just wondering if you got any feedback from your agent as far as why they thought it didn't get sold.
I'm going to call and I'll let you know another time. I'm not ready to list it right now. You can call back in about a month or so. What's
the best email for you, Florence?
I'm not going to give you my email. I'll go crazy. I have too much email as it is.
I thought you just said you wanted me to send you our company information. You asked me to do that.
You can mail it.
You want me to send it in snail mail?
Snail mail, yeah. That would be fine.
Listen, I know you're getting a lot of calls this morning and you're frustrated that it didn't get sold.
Really getting to me, so
well, I completely
understand.
I completely understand your frustration. At the end of the day, we just want to see what we can do to help.
I understand. Thank you. Have a good day.
So you want me to send you something in the mail and then call you back in a month, you said? We lost Florence, sounds like. It's 11 a.m. out there, guys. She's probably gotten a few calls this morning already about the property. We'll go ahead and make note that she did say we can give her a call back. And that's what we'll do in a couple of weeks. And in the meantime, we will drop mail on her. So what I'm doing right now is I'm making notes in Mojo, what she told me, her frustration, and that we're going to send her something in the mail. And then we'll follow up in a couple of weeks. So give me one moment here while I note everything and set the call back in here. Okay, give me 1 second here. And the Mojo is pretty cool because, like I said, it gives us the ability to set up a callback, which will sync up with my Google Calendar. And she said call back in about a month. And typically what I do is I cut that time in half. So we'll give her a call in a couple of weeks, and then we'll set it up for a recurring call every week. Around the same time. Okay. And she didn't want to go into too much detail, didn't really give me an opportunity to, ask any specific questions. That property, it was on the market since July. So about 4 months, and then it expired on the MLS. They had it listed for $699,000. So it's definitely something that we're going to follow up on, and then go from there. I'm going to have my team lead, Jeff, send over our packet in the mail. Give me 1 second here, guys. There's no rush to this, guys. It's really, we want to make sure that we do this properly, make the right notes, set up the follow-ups in the system. And so that's what I'm doing right now. Hope everybody's having a good Saturday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Okay. And on to the next, guys.
Hello?
Hi, it's Jeremy with Exit Realty. I was calling about your property you took off the market. Yeah, you took it off the... Oh, he hung up. Let's give him a call right back. We're calling in Long Island, guys, so got to be quick to the draw here.
Well,
Hey, Robert, we got disconnected there.
it's not for sale, I said. Goodbye.
Well, it was for sale. What happened? So he's probably getting a lot of calls right now, a little bit frustrated. So we're just going to put him down as not interested right now, future follow-up, and we'll move on to the next. Follow-up call, put him in a call for a week, and then we'll move on to the next. Well, we're making contact, we're making traction, we're having conversations, we're moving on to the next. So typically on Saturdays and Sundays, I call all the brand new stuff and then do important follow-ups, and I do about an hour of prospecting per campaign.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Guire.
Hello? Yes?
It's Jeremy over at Exit Realty calling about your property on Sean Michael.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys took it off the market after a few months. We were wondering why it didn't get sold.
You wonder? How about me wondering why it didn't get sold?
Oh, your agent didn't give you any feedback?
No, agent?
Yeah,
Never heard from him.
Oh, you were working with Paul, right, over at Berkshire Hathaway?
Yeah, right.
What do you mean? You never heard from him? Sounds like bad communication.
There was no communication. Not bad communication. There was no communication.
Well, there's our problem.
It's my problem, my friend. It's my problem.
Well, it sounds like it's his problem, to be honest. It sounds like that's the biggest error there is communication with him and his client.
Well, I often wondered, I had some doubts about Paul from the beginning.
Okay.
And my wife was the one, and I always had some doubts about him because I don't give a damn who knows it. I haven't gotten to his bosses yet. I don't think they know it, but they got to know it. But you know what? I don't think they care because if they did, a house that and they didn't get re-upped on a contract, never even called me about the contract, whether we were re-upping on it or not.
Wow, just let it expire, huh?
Yeah, never heard. He called a week ago. Oh, I got a guy from Babylon. I'm wife says, well, who's the guy? I don't know. Then he says, how do you have a guy if you don't know?
So no communication. You had no idea what was going.
People look at this house. Both were outside brokers. And he never once followed up with anything.
So
there was one guy that was interested. He went to his bank to try to get his pre-qualification up, and they told him no. Only that I call them a week or so after and said, what's going on? Oh, yeah, we heard from him last night. Well, if you heard from him last night, why didn't I hear? Oh, well, we were going to call you today. That was his partner. Oh, Paul's here. Well, that's nice. He's here. Why didn't I know about this?
Well, you have a right to be frustrated and pissed off, Mr.
Right now in my mouth.
Say again?
Because this is ridiculous.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm not Paul. My boss isn't Paul. And I understand you're pissed, and you have every right to be.
And he certainly doesn't. When brokers do that, and they come in and they sell you a bill of goods, or try to sell you a bill of goods, and then they make it bad for the rest of you people.
You're right. And you believe I got to work with these guys?
Pardon me?
You believe I got to work with these guys every day?
Well, sure, you got to work with them every day. That's why you got to be careful what you say about them, and everything else you got to work with them. But they don't care. They don't care. Because if the guy cared, and he got a house on the market for $984,000, a property, and I personally only gave him 4 months. Because I said, you know something? I want to see what you do in 4 months. I want to see exactly what you do, how much effort you're putting into this. Then we'll renegotiate. We'll sign up again. And from day one, nothing. The first guy was about a week. I got a phone call from their office. They want to know. Paul wants to know if I'm available this Sunday to show the house.
Okay.
I said, why are you calling me? Why isn't Paul calling me?
Okay.
I don't know. Okay? So then I speak to him. Oh, you don't have to be there, to show the house. The broker I said, how would the broker know anything about this house when the broker was never in it before?
Okay.
So I allowed the broker to bring the client in, and the guy says to me, he says, listen, could you show us the house?
Mm-hmm.
I said, sure, I'll show you the house. Now, this guy did have an interest in it because he had a mother-in-law and a father-in-law, but apparently they thought they could do better going east to Comac as far as price went, and they could.
Gotcha.
The second guy that came in was Larry Theodore. Came in with a client that was interested, but when the guy went to, and Larry Theodore was never his house in his life. Now, my wife was here that day, and I asked the first guy, I said, you got a business card? He goes, no, I don't have any on me. He did take out his realtor's license and show it to me.
Okay.
And he was from Massapequa. So we didn't know that these other people were really interested. Oh, we thought they were going to make an offer. I said, what do you mean we thought? I said, why didn't you follow up on this?
Right.
Was there anything we could have done to have helped them? No answer. No answer. Then a week ago, last week, Paul called my wife or texted her that he had someone from Babylon. Who is it from Babylon? I don't know. Well, how in God's creation you take a phone call and you don't know who you're talking to from Babylon? Did you follow up to find? Then it was, the wife is sick. I said, the wife is sick. Well, did you follow up? Are they still interested? That was the last thing we heard. Nothing about the contract that's coming up. Nothing about renewing it, nothing about even sitting down and talking about it. I really firmly believe they felt that they screwed up so bad that they weren't even going to approach us.
Well, it sounds like they may have. I mean, everything you're telling me.
Well, listen, my friend, I would never lie about something like that.
Oh,
because
I'm with you.
I had no intentions of firing his ass if he did call. and say you wouldn't get. I wouldn't recommend you for nothing.
Right.
Because you said I would be hearing every couple of weeks progress and everything else. Where you advertising, what you're doing. Didn't hear one damn thing. He did call me one day. I will give him this. He called me one day to give me a bunch of statistics. I said, what do I care about these statistics? I said, they mean nothing to me. I said, you know what means something to me? Performance. What are you doing to sell my house? I don't care about the real estate market and the statistics. Don't come in here with graphs and charts. You know what? I can make up graphs and charts. But you know what? What are you doing to sell it?
Right. The marketing strategy. What's going on?
Yeah. And what are you doing? Are you going out getting someone? Or are you just throwing it on the internet and hope someone calls you up? Any idiot can do that. And then you want a 4% to 5% commission. I said on maybe $40,000 to do what? To do what? But I'm surprised that even his bosses, the two brothers that own that franchise,
Berkshire Hathaway.
weren't asking, huh?
Berkshire Hathaway.
Berkshire Hathaway. Now they're a fairly big outfit. I'm surprised that they did. Now, there's also a magazine that comes out periodically once a month. It's all high-end homes, North Shore, even down Belmore, Seaford, all over. Never saw a house in at one time. And these weren't all million-dollar homes. Some of these homes look like sugar shacks. They were being advertised, and I saw his company in there, and the two brothers surrounded by the photos of 100 agents. I don't know if they were new agents or what, but neither one of my two people were in that photo, and my house was not in the November or the December issue of that magazine. And I have a copy of that magazine here.
Did they tell you that it would be initially?
Never said to me anything about it. I did not know the magazine existed until we started to receive it in the mail in November.
Gotcha. Well, if I can interject one moment, my boss, well, just based off what you're telling me, I'm not going to give you any BS. I'm just going to tell you straight how it is. I work for Jeff Archer, okay? And when it comes to marketing, you know exactly what's going on every step of the way. But before we even go that far and try to get you to even consider talking to him, really what it comes down to when a property doesn't sell is one of three things. The way that it's marketed or handled by the agent, maybe that was an issue. Sounds like it may have been. Now, I don't know Paul, so I'm not going to go there and say anything negative towards him other than what you've already told me, which are facts. 2, maybe the way the property was priced. 3, the condition. It sounds like, just based off what you're telling me, it's the first.
The condition of this house.
Right.
Somebody came in here last night. A broker came in here last night. I did not sign with him. The condition of this house. You could eat off the floors in this house.
Well, based off what you told me, it's probably going towards the beginning of what I said. The first thing, if you didn't know what was going on every step of the way, a lot of times, unfortunately, some people in the market, agents and brokers, are just putting it online and hoping that something happens.
Well, that's what happened here. I know it happened to you like that because you didn't do a damn thing.
So, like I'm calling you now.
He never brought anyone in here. 2 outside brokers called him.
One big thing different that we do, like I'm calling you right now, when we get listings, we actively call every single neighbor in the area as well. That's just one big difference that we do. I'll just throw that out there because I called you. You know how that's basically one big difference for sure that we do, calling everybody in the area to see if they want to choose their new neighbor.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What's the sense of calling people in my area here?
Well, if you believe it,
Goes to house houses on the market.
Believe it or not, that actually gets property sold.
Huh?
That's how Jeff has sold a lot of property. That's what good it does.
Well, I'll tell you right now, that's what the guy said last night too. Send cards to everybody.
That's just one thing that we do.
Who on Hampshire Drive is going to buy anything in here? Now we got a new development going up right around the corner from us here on Merritt's Road.
Okay.
10 new homes. Okay, Larry Theodore has those homes. Okay? Now, those homes were allegedly starting at 900 and some thousand. They're half the size of these houses, the 11 homes that were built in here. Okay? They're half the size of these houses. All right? There are some bigger homes in the back on the plot of land. They're right on top of each other. They have no property. I don't know if you're them or not. They're right on Merritt's Road, right before you hit the train crossing on the right side, the south side of the street. That would be the southwest part of the street, coming down Merritt's Road. Okay? And one-car garage. I saw what they were using going in. I was the last house built here, and I was here every day. This house was being built just about, and I caught a lot of mistakes, and I made a lot of changes. I made them tear down. I even made them take a bathroom out in this house because it wasn't it wasn't right. I made them take down studdings on walls and redo it. That's how much I kept an eye on. And you know what? They still got a few things by on me because I guess I wasn't here. But I asked the framer one day, "You guys ever use a level?" And they looked at me like I had a funny head. I said, "Do you ever use a level?" Because I said, "I haven't seen a level being used yet." "Oh, they do it later." I go, "How can you do it later once you have it up?" I just know a little something about it. That's all, just a little something. My father was a carpenter. But the thing is, when you go to sell it, I know the price is high, and the price is high for Farmingdale. Believe it, I know that. There's another area over there off of Yoakum on Fairview. They have some big homes in there that were built around the same time. Those homes are going, some of them are for over $1 million in there. Now, I had two realtors tell me the house should have been priced where it is now. Okay? And I went with that. Now, if I start taking my house down too much, I lose negotiation. I lose that level where I can bargain to where I want.
Correct.
Okay? Because I don't have if I'm going to take it down another $100,000, forget about it. I've lost my profit, what I want. And then I still got to bargain because someone will say, it's still a little too much. My taxes are 17 something, and I'm a veteran. Okay? I'm the only veteran in this block here. People paying a lot more taxes than I am. But I've already got them grieved and passed for next year because I've got the assessment is down, and I got go ahead. I use Maidenbaum to do it, and I've used them for 20 years in here, and they've been successful with me to keep the taxes down. Guy next door to me sold a house a year ago. He was paying $24,000 in taxes a year. The man was a first vice president in that bank, and he had been with that bank for over 40 years. Headed up the audit department and everything else, and he never once grieved his taxes. So this guy, now another guy on the first house, there were 3 homes sold on this side of the street last year. All went in the 700s. People wanted to get out and go, and all bought more expensive homes. They thought they were getting a bargain. They didn't. They went to Huntington, Syosset, and and one guy went to the city. The guy next door went to the city. He owned two co-ops in the city, and he broke through and made them bigger. So the other guys all wound up buying homes up in Syosset and in Huntington, paying, in some cases, not as much, but when they put 200 and some thousand into the house to redo it, it wound up costing them more. One of the wives met up my nephew and said, "We made a mistake. Wasn't worth it." Because I said the taxes have gone up on us and everything else. So I don't know. I'm just so pissed right now that no effort was made to sell it.
I get it. I hear you. Would you be okay with this? And I'll get to the point so I don't waste too much of your time. To let my boss Jeff do a little bit of research on it, because I'm just his assistant. I don't want to step into I don't want to say something that I'm not. And then I'd like to have him come by and shake your hand and just have a conversation with you.
Yeah, I don't listen. You know, I don't need. I just need. I know what I want to clear out of here. Okay, I don't know if I will clear it. Okay. And I don't know, but when I see what's going up next door that's being told brand new, and I said, what's the taxes estimated on those homes in there? Well, if it's estimated starting at 18, you know it's over 20.
Right.
Because they're in the incorporated village of Farmingdale. So they have a village tax in there. And you know if it's new construction, you know it's going up. And it may be a private road because the development next to it, Marie Court, is a private road inside the incorporated village of Farmingdale. That means they have to bring down their garbage to the road. They have to get their own snow plowing done and everything else. So I don't know what the, and like I said, it's 2x2 property. I have a third of an acre. Most of the people here have good sized plots here, at least a quarter acre, a third. I mean, I have the biggest spot, but they all have some pretty good size, and so a lot of them have in-ground pools and everything else. So, and we're a nice block. You either have colonials or Tudors here, the Victorians.
Okay.
Good size homes.
Yeah.
And it's a 4,650 square foot house.
I was looking at some photos of it while we were talking. Would it be okay if Jeff stopped by Monday at 10 or 1?
Well, tell you what. Why doesn't he call me Monday, and I'll see what my wife just went up. We have a home up in Wyndham, and my wife just went up this morning. She's going to ski with my daughter for the weekend, and I'm sticking around here. If he wants to call me or he wants to stop by, maybe I could do it sometime Monday. But let him call because I want to run by my wife. Okay. What
I'll do is I'll just pencil it in for Monday at 1 or so, and then we'll reach out Monday morning to make sure that still works.
Yeah. Okay. And his name is what? Archer, you said?
Jeff Archer. And in the meantime, I'd like to just send you one email with his info so you can put a name to the face and see who he is. And then we'll call Monday, make sure it still works, and he'll come by Monday at 1.
Yeah. All right.
All
right. I'll like I said, I'll confirm that on Monday. Okay. So someone give me a call Monday and we'll confirm it.
Yeah. What's your email address, Mr. McGuire?
It's WPM545 at AOL.
I'll talk to Jeff, go over the conversation with him. He'll do some numbers. We'll call Monday morning, and hopefully we can come by and see you in Monday afternoon and see if we can see if Jeff can put a strategy together that makes sense to you.
All right. Thank you for the call.
Mr. McGuire, thank you for your time. All right, guys, so that's an ideal situation right there. He told us a lot of information, and he was extremely, extremely, extremely frustrated. He had it listed for 4 months, had zero communication with his listing agent, and the listing agent didn't even reach out to him to try to renew the agreement because he knew he effed up. So we have a lot of good stuff to work with here. I'm going to take some notes, and we're going to send him an email. I'm going to talk to Jeff, and then in turn, we're going to put it on calendar, and then we'll talk to him, William, Mr. McGuire, Monday morning to make sure Monday afternoon still works. And then we'll be getting out there Monday afternoon to go over strategy, some numbers. And if they hit it off, there's a really good chance that Jeff will walk away with that listing, and we'll try to help the McGuires get that property back on the market and sold. So let me just take some notes here. And if you guys have questions, feel free to put them in the comments. And I'm just going to take notes and put it on calendar. Give me 1 second here. So yeah, that was almost $1 million property. It just came off the market yesterday. And the fact that he really opened up, even though he was pissed, the fact that he opened up and told us what was going on, that's all good stuff. That's what we want. So that's going to go on calendar as an appointment, and then we'll follow up Monday morning to make sure that still works. And he knows his stuff. He knows his numbers. He knows other real estate agents in the area. This guy's a very informed seller. He knows what he needs to make his net profit. And so he knows what numbers it's going to take to be able to have him accept an offer. And the bottom line is the past real estate agent, they just didn't do enough marketing. One thing for sure, even if the marketing wasn't great, the communication was bad. And if the communication had been better, there's a really good chance that it sounds like Mr. McGuire would have continued to work with him and gave him a shot. But the listing agent failed to communicate. And so at the end of the day, they weren't able to help their client, and they didn't even communicate with them. That's the biggest thing. So boom, third conversation, listing appointment on calendar. We got his email address. We're going to send him over an email and also a text message. And we're going to put that on calendar as a qualified listing appointment. Let me just double check here. Yeah, they had it listed at 984,000. So that's what we want. So we're going to print out what it's called the hot sheet with all of the notes, all of the listing information. And the great thing about Mojo and other prospecting platforms is all of my calls are recorded. And so I can download the PDF of all of the data, and then also download the MP3. So Jeff, my real estate listing professional that I'm setting these appointments for, was able to listen to the call, and we can be on the same page before Monday comes around. what I'm going to do, let's see here. Okay, I'm going to send him a text message and an email. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to wrap this live session up on Facebook and YouTube now, so I can do the admin side of things and make sure to get it on calendar. I'll be going live again here in about an hour or so. So for those of you that had an opportunity to watch the live and watch me set that appointment, thank you for viewing. Please share and like the page. Again, my name's Jeremy Marquez, J Marqeting. I call, you close. Have a good day, guys.